everyone. This is a quick video to talk about your World War I research paper document that's going to be your research notes. So this document you actually have on paper, but obviously we're recording here digitally just to make sure that you kind of understand what's going on in your paper document. So looking at the directions, it said for each of the sections of your paper, you're going to need to collect a certain amount of notes in order to finish your research. You're going to find these from sources that you have collected using your source page, which I'll show you right here. All right, so hopefully yours has already been completed. You have all 5 sources nicely listed in MLA, and we're going to be ready to create a works cited soon. But using those sources, we are actually going to take notes in this document, which, like I said, you're going to be doing on paper. So the first page here is just some examples, so we'll go over those quickly. For each note, you need 3 things. 3 things. One is going to be your source number, right? So your source number is going to be found from this source page. Notice that all of your sources have numbers. So if I'm looking at source number 2 and I'm taking notes on source number 2, then I am actually going to put source number 2 in this document as well, so that I remember where these quotes and paraphrases are coming from. So as you can see there, you will need a direct quote for each of the notes that you take, and then you're going to have to paraphrase that quote. Paraphrasing, remember, is not summarizing. You're not telling me what is being said in the quote. You're putting the quote into your words, right? You're basically restating the quote. So the quote here is, "You are not here merely to make a living. You are here in order to enable a world to live more amply, with greater vision, with a finer spirit of hope and achievement. You are here to enrich the world, and you impoverish yourself if you forget the errand." So this is a pretty famous quote by Woodrow Wilson, who was president during World War I. So what I did here is I paraphrased that quote. I basically put it into my own words. So instead of just quoting Woodrow Wilson, I said, Woodrow Wilson once said that human beings are here to live in the world to make it a better place with, quote, greater vision, right? Because I didn't really want to change the wording there, so I just stuck it in quotes. He believed that that human beings, have the job and duty of improving the world. So that is essentially what the quote says, but it's in my own words. So you can see that this is another example of how that would work, and you can kind of read that on your own time. So down here is the table of contents for your packet. Your packet includes 9 pages of information, and really you're going to come up with 40 notes. 1 note is equal to source number plus direct quote plus paraphrase. So this whole thing here is 1 note. You're going to need 10 of those for your background. You need 20 for kind of the body paragraph section, which is the significance to World War I, how your topic impacted World War I. And then you're going to need 10 more for how it changed history, which is going to be basically your conclusion. So going down into the sections here, I'm going to start with my background information. If my topic was Woodrow Wilson's 14 points, and let's say that was, my event that I chose, or even the person that I chose, I'm going to need some background information. Your background info is going to be the time period, some important context of your person's life, or what led up to the event or the invention that you chose. So let's say I am going to, in this document, create a quote from the source that I've chosen. So I'm actually going to use the example source. So I'm going to put EX here for example, but you would actually put the source number, right? I'm using the example source here, which really I guess is source 1, but that's okay. So I'm going to head into my source and look around for an important quote. So looking in the introduction section here, it shows me that the 14 points speech outlined Wilson's ideas for national determination and sovereignty, and also tried to create a general association of nations, which was the precursor to the United Nations. So that's pretty important information, and that's something that I want to quote in my document. So I'm actually going to head on over to the document here, and I'm going to quote that information. So for now, I'm going to just copy and paste it, but you are going to write it out in your actual packet. All right, so once I have this information, I'm going to go ahead and paraphrase it and put it into my own words. Remember that you need 10 of these in your background, you need 20 in your main section, and 10 again for your next section.